What's up, game boys and girls? Big T here, back with another video, and we're gonna talk about the PlayStation Portal, but we're mostly talking about how I think that the Wii U was clearly ahead of its time, and those things are gonna tie into each other. So let's start off with the PlayStation Portal. I never really felt it had a great use, at least for me. I don't have a PlayStation 5, by the way, but if I did, this would be an enticing product, I would think, especially for somebody who is a fan of the Wii U and what it could do. A lot of people don't like that comparison, but it's a valid comparison in a way, and I'll explain why it's not a great comparison in other ways. So Sony just released the PlayStation Portal, and they obviously, I've made the point that it was, the acronym was PSP, which is just disgrace to this beautiful, wonderful device here. This is the PSP, the PlayStation Portable, which is probably my favorite gaming handheld, dedicated gaming handheld, because you get a little bit muddier with these gaming handheld PCs, but as far as just like straight up dedicated gaming handheld, PlayStation Portable is probably that. Yes, I know that's kind of sacrilegious for a Nintendo fan to say, but it just hit everything right. It had the multimedia functions, had obviously great games, and you can play music and all. It was just great. It was a great little device that hit me at the right time. I was in college, and it was just a cool device that I could use while I was at school or on the bus headed to school. I didn't have to have a bunch of little other devices. I didn't have to have my MP3 player and all this other stuff. I could just have the one device to carry with me and play video games, play movies, and play music. In 2006, when I was going to school, that is crazy. I mean, that was a crazy cool thing. That's like it's no big deal now, but back then that was a crazy new thing. So it just hit me at the right time. So yeah, that is the real PlayStation Portable. Look at me mixing them up now. Thanks a lot, Sony. But there's a lot of mixed reviews on it, which I understand, because it only functions as a screen to play your PlayStation 5 games on. Either in the house or outside of the house, on Wi-Fi, and that's it. I mean, that's all it does. If that's all you need it to do, great. But it's kind of weird that unless you're like really bogged down in your house, you have a TV that you have to share, which I don't think most of these gamers or most of these YouTubers especially don't have that issue. So it's kind of weird for them to be like, oh yeah, this is great. Had it been more like a Wii U, it'd be more interesting to me. And I think the fact that it basically does what the Wii U, the Wii U's main thing does, which is off TV play. Nobody cared about that outside of Nintendo fans, certain Nintendo fans. But all of a sudden, that is oh my God, this is a great device. It's just really strange to me, because it doesn't even work as good as the Wii U worked. Obviously, the screen is better, but it's just kind of weird that non-Wii U fans especially be all of a sudden, oh my God, this is a great device. You can play off TV. You don't have to use the TV. I'm like, we were all touting this, 8 years ago, more than that, that you can do all these cool things 10 years ago now. We were all touting that back then. Nobody cared about that. And all of a sudden you slap a Sony logo on it, and then a PlayStation logo on it, and then people lose their mind. Oh, this is the greatest thing ever. And it's sold out, which I'd like to know how many they actually produced. They won't tell us that. It's sold out. How many did it sell? But we're not getting those numbers. We probably won't get those numbers, because I don't think they made that many. They made, I think, between 10 and 100,000 units. And to sell that many is still pretty good. But people are acting like, oh my God, it's just such a hot commodity that everybody wants. I think it's, it's what do they call it? Shortages, on purpose. They made a shortage to drive demand. It was sold out. Everybody FOMO. Everybody wants it. and I don't think that's legit as far as what it how it actually sold. But anyway, so it only has that one function. That's the problem. But I was thinking about, man, the Wii U. Had it come out in, say, when did the Switch come out? 2017. 2017. Had the Wii U come out? Let's say Nintendo. Let's do some revising the history. Wii comes out, still huge success. And instead of making the Wii U, they make Wii HD. So basically, nicer graphics, better controllers, all that kind of stuff. Still the Wii pointer and all that cool stuff. That's probably where Nintendo should have went, in hindsight, because that's 2020. But I think a lot of people at the time were thinking that too, because people were just like, "Oh, we want the next Wii. We want Wii HD," and people were even calling it that. They were even calling the Wii U before it was Wii U, Wii HD. And Nintendo tried to. I think they wanted to incorporate that, but they also wanted to do the gamepad stuff. But let's say, mainly because of this device, right? So mainly because of the Steam Deck and its success, because there have been other portable handheld PCs, but this is the one that's like really successful. They're about to drop this OLED. Mine's coming in a couple of days. Mainly because of this, like people are really starting to value more portable handheld gaming, right? Well, I don't mean, because obviously I was just talking about the PSP, and obviously Nintendo has handhelds or whatever. People always love portable gaming, but to be able to play console games, this generation, major title releases and stuff, that really hasn't happened until the Steam Deck or other devices like it. But like I said, the Steam Deck is the one that caught on and really got people dropping their own device. You got Lenovo out there. I'm also getting that, and tomorrow I think it comes. You got the Steam Deck, or I said Steam Deck already. You got what is it? The Rogue Ally, or ROG Ally. You got that, and so these are like the top three ones that right now people are talking about, and it's because basically of the Steam Deck. But people have realized that, oh man, because of the Switch. Let's give it back to the Switch, because the Steam Deck, is I don't want to say it's an answer to the Switch, but it let Valve realize, we can do this portable device that lets us have these games, and you have to do as much compromise. There won't be as much compromise with our device as there is with the Switch, and that was a problem with the Switch. And I quote problem is that there's a lot of compromises that had to be made for current generation games, and the Switch blew the doors off of gaming handheld on the go, even before, or even with Nintendo's other handheld devices. The Switch was the one that really blew the doors off everything. You can say, well, the DS sold more, yes, but as far as like I'm playing a console game on the go, the Switch was the first to really make that a big thing, and then obviously Steam Deck picked up the mantra after it. But the Switch obviously struggles with third-party current-gen titles. And, they get them here and there. You get your Hogwarts Legacies here and there. You get your Doom 2016s. You get your stuff like that. Witcher 3, stuff like that. But it's not going to be able to continue to do that going forward, obviously. And that's why we're getting the Switch 2. Most likely will rectify a lot of those problems. But even then, there's going to be concessions, right? And so you think about how the market has opened up and people want to play off, because everybody's moving and shaking and they're on the go all the time. But they want to be able to play that game that they play at home on the go. And the Switch started to really provide that, at least on the Nintendo side. But as far as third party go, you can only like the games aren't obviously the games aren't graphically as the graphical fidelity and the performance and stuff is not what a lot of people would want. And so Steam Deck finally provided that, and so now people have that appetite. And I'm like, had the Wii U just waited, and I guess that would mean we have no Switch, but the Wii U would have done what the Switch did had it waited. Now, obviously, the Wii U as it is my Wii U gamepad here with a nice skin from Terminator Juice. Thank you. Had it waited, right? Because the problems with the Wii U, as far as portability goes, is that you only have a tiny range inside your house, right? Before you get the disconnect. And then I wanted to look this up beforehand. I completely forgot. The tech in this is some kind of Bluetooth, right? That's how the Wii U shares the screen. You know, it has its screen here that also has a screen is streaming to your television as well with the hookups. I know it's faster than Wi-Fi. I thought it was some kind of Bluetooth, but you know that's not enough outside of leaving your console. You can't leave it too far in the house even, and definitely not on the go. But had the tech waited, had the Nintendo waited, I think that's what you would have got with the Wii U. You would have gotten a device you can take outside of the house and stream through Wi-Fi your games. Now, to me, it still wouldn't have been as good because you would have had to download everything, and that's one of my issues with the PS Portal, is that it has to be stuff that's downloaded to your consoles. That means digital games, which I'm not huge on. That works for Steam Deck because everything on here is digital, so I don't even think about it. But for a Nintendo console or any gaming console, I would want to have that physical game, and so it wouldn't be able to utilize, it wouldn't be able to utilize your library, your physical gaming library. But with something like what the Wii U would have done, is, like I said, would have allowed you with Wi-Fi, the same thing that the PS Portal does, but I think it would have been better. I think not just being a controller with a screen on it for your game console, but I think they would have, it would have pushed Nintendo to do what I think Microsoft is doing right now with the cloud. They're allowing, any device basically to be able to stream Game Pass. Any internet-able device basically you can stream your Game Pass games, and I think that would have been something that Nintendo would have probably done, where it would have benefited, the Wii U in a really cool way. This is where you would think, oh man, it would be great had Microsoft had their own handheld, but they don't really need it, because you have, like I said, you have your Rogue Allies, you have your Steam Decks and whatnot. Your Steam Deck, you can't download the games natively from Game Pass, but on Rogue Ally you can, and on Lenovo Legion Go and other PC or other Windows-based devices, you can download the games and play them natively with Game Pass PC, or Game Pass Ultimate. So that would have been great. Now, like I said, I think the Wii U was just ahead of its time. It was too ahead of its time. Had the tech been better, like even just the tech in your house, being able to Wi-Fi, being able to do what the PS Portal does, would have been great for the Wii U. A lot of gripes were that the range wasn't that great, even in your own house. But I'm basing this all on, people being excited for the PlayStation Portal. Is that true excitement? Or is it the fact that the PS Portal is a gamepad with the Sony logo on it? Is that really what the excitement is? Because this device did that. Obviously, the range wasn't as great because it didn't have the Wi-Fi aspect, but just the concept of being able to play in your house off TV, this did that 10 years ago, and maybe it would have benefited from this sudden desire to play your games like that on the go and whatnot, and in your house. So yeah, it's just a thought I had. Let me know what you guys think. Do you think the Wii U was ahead of its time, or do you think that a lot of the accolades for off TV play are just Sony fans, touting something that Nintendo already did? It just now it has the Sony logo on it. I don't know. I kind of feel that way, but I think the Wii U could have still benefited from being tech that came out, in modern, or not modern times. It was like, I'm not talking about 100 years ago, but in times that the technology could have really benefited from it. So I think it would have. So let me know what you think in the comments below. Thank you again for watching and listening, and see you fools next time. Peace out.